Pony up on a Victory Monday. About to see the greatest podcast in the country, the Walking Strong podcast. So buckle up. This is going to be a great one. We're coming off
Look at Scott Natty, just owning it.
We're coming off a fantastic victory over the...
He normally drives people around that are injured, but
the
only people injured right now is the entire Florida State, reputation.
True. Facts.
I mean, give me your summary of the game, just in a nutshell.
It was exactly as scripted. Coach asked the boys to be the most physical team on the field, to be the most excited to play team on the field, and both were fulfilled. So when you do those two things, and you take care of the football like we did, and you swarm to the football on defense, it's not complicated. You win most of those games.
But seriously, on paper, I would have said Florida State's going to outman us. I mean, on paper. Well,
I'll say this. The eye test, they'd probably beat us in pregame. We lost the pregame, but that's okay.
What's the old saying? You can. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog.
And we got plenty of fight in us.
Oh, man, I love it.
Those guys look fantastic in their pads, but you don't get any points for that. and we brought the fight to them, and it was a ton of fun doing it. And just such a special group of young men we have, and it's so awesome just to be a part of the program right now. It's such a great time to be a Mustang.
Hey, by the way, never seen so many recruits.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I was so happy for our kids just to be able to experience that. So happy for the alumni, for the student body. The great thing is we've got a freshman class here at SMU now that don't know any different.
Yeah, good point.
They think Saturday games are all supposed to be like that, and guess what? We're going to make them like that.
That was such a dream come true for you to see that stadium like that, but you didn't say it was a dream, just what you were working toward.
Amen. Yeah, it's been a vision for a long time, and it was fun to see that vision fulfilled. I've always pictured the stadium like that, always pictured game day like that. Knew it was a matter of time, and
it's here.
It's here, and we have to work day in, day out to maintain that, and we will. Fired up. I'm fired up for everybody watching this because you're about to see the Walking Strong podcast.
Right here in front of the Doak Walker statue, right here in front of Armstrong Commons. What better place could there than right that? All right, we're going to talk about FSU, then we're going to talk about Louisville coming up. And that was maybe the best ride. Did I give you 5 stars as an Uber driver, or how does that work?
I would love that. I would love that. It would increase my pay from 0 to 0.
Thanks, brother.
All right, babe.
We're going to recruit a kid out of Sealing. And he said, I'm not going to tell you who he is. I want to take you to practice. I want you to point him out for me. We drove up, and I got out. We walked up to the fence, and I stood there for a few minutes, and I said, that's him. I said, yep, that's him. I said, who is he? He said, that's Eric Dickerson.
Gives to Dickerson. It's a touchdown. Touchdown. He's in there.
One more. He's gone.
97 yards.
I think the excitement for our program and our fan base, campus is at an all-time high.
Here is the sweep, and that is Brashard Smith turning the corner. You're going to hand to Smith. Good run. He scores. On the possession, a 13-yard touchdown run for Brashard Smith, and SMU on the board first.
This is the On the Pony Express podcast, hosted by Billy Embody, brought to you by Epic Estate Wines. Walking strong on the Pony Express, a weekly segment with SMU alum, owner, vintner of Epic Estate Wines, Bill Armstrong. Epic Estate Wines, world-class wines from Paso Robles wine country. Learn more, Epic, EPOCH, epicwines.com. And now your host. Billy Embody.
1, 2, 3. Let me go.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Walking Strong podcast. Double P.
Man, podcast partner right here. One of my favorite spots of all of SMU. Right here in front of Doak. An old friend of mine. He was great. Maybe the best ever. Mustang.
Yeah.
We got some good ones, though. We had some good ones this weekend at the game, didn't we?
Oh, indeed.
It was unbelievable.
Such an electric game. Beautiful
man.
weekend. Picture perfect.
What's that line from Hamilton? Like Benjamin Franklin with the key and the kite. It's electric or something like that. I'm so sophisticated at this. Hey, speaking of sophistication, we have a great Great drink. This is the rosé. It's unbelievable. This day is hot.
Yes.
It's hot right now. Not sure when summer's going to end in Dallas, but it's probably banging on mid-90s.
Yeah.
Something like that. So anyway, so if you see him sweating, he's a sweater. Anyway, remember one of my favorite lines from Caddyshack when Rodney Dangerfield says, "Hey, we're all going to get laid."
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
That's the way I felt. At the end of that game against Florida State, I'm thinking, this is just so great. It was so electric. I didn't even know where to start because the atmosphere was simply phenomenal in the game.
Let's start
on
with
the field.
The record.
Oh, geez, we're 4-1. We're 4-1. We should be 5-0, but we're 4-1. And how good is that? A couple of beatdowns. One against our biggest rival, and one against, I just want to say, Florida State. They are still men.
Yeah.
They're men that should have gone to the national championship last year. And when I saw that man on the sidelines, I'm kind of going, whew, I don't know. I was nervous. I was nervous about the game, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. But before we talk about that, a couple of things I want to mention. SMU students, you brought your A game. It was noticed by everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the ACC network, they were just commenting like, this is as good as any game day experience we're seeing around the ACC. It was just phenomenal. You were loud, you were cheering, you were jumping in your seats. It was just exactly the way major college football should be. Yeah. And they're getting into it. And I cannot say that enough. And let's talk about the Boulevard.
Yeah. We got our tour.
I know we got a tour. Did y'all see that? We may have to just link that up on this deal.
Uh-huh.
We got a fun little tour on the ACC. A shout out from the ACC network.
Yep.
Your particular tent was in it.
Yeah.
And what we need to do is do a whole thing on the Boulevard because it was the best Boulevard I think ever.
It was unbelievable.
It was, and then
weather was perfect.
I'm going to say that I think a tent on the Boulevard at SMU home games is going to be a hot commodity.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be like the people that already own a tent. It's going to say, "I got Bitcoin at $100."
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Where it's just going to go way up in value because the competition y'all have on your various tents is epic. It is just it's just fabulous. And by the way, if you've got grandkids or you have little kids, Armstrong Fieldhouse is the place to be. We have face painting. They're making,
bounce houses, TVs going, there's beer in there, there's wine in there.
And it's just, and the air conditioning is going, which is just spectacular. So the Boulevard was just unbelievable.
And then you get to the game, and it was,
oh shit, dude.
Started as, once again, strong start, get points first drive. Brashard Smith continues to look like, hey, one of ESPN's writers actually had him in the kind of early Heisman watch.
No.
David Hale, got to shout him out.
Got to shout that out because
making him look good.
I don't think the majority of anybody knew who Smith was prior to the season.
Yeah.
I mean,
people were talking about him being a gadget.
I mean, Rhett did.
Yeah.
Rhett got it.
Yep. Kyle Cooper. Yep.
So it was unbelievable. In Ford Field, we had Eric Dickerson. We had Craig James. We had captains of industry, Ross Perot, Ray Washburn, internet billionaires. We had U.S. Open champion Bryson DeChambeau, and that was just our suite. I mean, you look everywhere else, it was happening. It was banging, and it was so good. It was so good.
President Bush with the coin toss.
Of course. We need to have him
throw out there.
We need to have him throw out the coin toss on every game.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what his record is, but it's probably undefeated.
Yeah.
Awfully close.
You want to know who's also in the crowd? Wayne Gretzky.
No.
Yep, Wayne Gretzky's there.
What?
He's got a connection. I'll leave it to one of the football players.
There's
a connection. Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't know
the great
that.
one was there. So,
unbelievable.
would love to interview him as a hockey guy. He's a big wino. We could probably get him on.
Is he? You can't call him a wino. That just sounds like you're homeless. You need to say he's a big wine aficionado or a sommelier.
He is the great one. He is the great one of wine aficionados then of hockey players.
Wino. Anyway, so what else do I? Oh, I just want to say right now, I couldn't help but think of it when I was watching the game. One of my favorite scenes ever from Pretty Woman.
Yeah. When
Julia Roberts walks into that store that she couldn't get waited on. She goes, big mistake. Huge.
No, thank you. Hi. Hello. Do you remember me? No, I'm sorry. I was in here yesterday. You wouldn't wait on me? Oh, you work on commission, right? Yes. Big mistake. Big. Huge. I have to go shopping now.
Okay, I got to go shopping for recruits now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Brett Yormark. Yormark? What's your name? I can't remember your name now. The commissioner of the Big 12. Big mistake. Huge. So, because right now, Dallas is ascending.
Yep.
Big 12 is falling apart like a cheap suit.
Yep.
And everybody in the ACC is loving it.
Yeah.
And we are loving it so much. We don't have to go to truck stop U anymore, Just here we are. So, let's talk about the game. So many highlights. So many. I'm going to talk about my player of the game.
Okay.
It's E-Rob. Elijah Roberts. Man, you brought your big ass game. I mean, it was just
big boy football.
It was big boy football, and they couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
And I mean, so many behind. Just rushing the passer all the time, and it's E-Rob that enabled the best play of the game. Wilson's interception.
Oh.
To the house.
One of the best plays of all time in SMU history,
82 yards, because we hadn't won yet.
Right.
And, Florida State's coming down. We had was it after the muffed punt? I think it was after the muffed punt.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
And he throws that interception, and he runs, and he gets hit, and then one guy comes out. Denver tackles him. You know what? He was going for the ball. He wasn't going for Wilson,
Yeah.
And then he leaves his own guy, and he goes all the way to the end zone. It was crazy. I was screaming in my head. Our entire suite was going absolutely bonkers. So that was my play of the game. That's my player of the game. But there were so many to choose from. McGill.
Yep. Jonathan McGill. What a special game.
Yep.
KJ. RJ Maryland, all-time touchdown record for tight ends by SMU.
All of our receivers starting to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, I mean, they're blocking their asses off.
Bailey showing up. I haven't seen him yet, but much this year. Probably the hardest catch in the game, Jordan Hudson's. He is so freaking wide open.
Yeah.
He's thinking to himself, I'm on national television, and nobody's within 10 yards of me.
Yeah.
And it's underthrown, and he's like, anyway, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, but you can overthrow those too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was so open.
I'm sure what KJ was thinking, like, I cannot air this out right now. Oh, my God. So fucking exciting. Anyway, I just loved it. The game was not near as close as the score indicated.
I agree.
I mean,
couple special teams errors, fumble.
One snap.
Oh yeah, right before the half.
I was right in the end zone, right behind the punter, and we had just had that fourth down series.
Oh, place was going nuts.
Stopped them, and I'm like going, all we have to do is just get the kick off. Yep. And I'm standing there, and I swear to God, I think he thought I was the punter because the ball came right to me. Right.
He probably got some shine off of your head there from the just right in his eyes.
Probably
he could
was
see.
Unbelievable. And so I go in a half. It's 14-9.
Yeah.
They're getting the ball in the second half, and even though we were kind of whooping up on them, we weren't there yet.
No.
And we just showed up in that second half.
28-7 in the second half.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You look at every single game this year, and they've absolutely brought it with adjustments and strong play in the second half.
Yeah.
The TCU game was so out of hand, a couple of cheap touchdowns or whatever, but Nevada, the BYU game, whatever, but
BYU, let's give them credit. They're 5-0.
Yeah,
right?
they are.
And were they top 20 now, or they're close?
Yeah, they're favored to win the Big 12 at this point.
Are they really?
Go to the playoffs.
Go to Baylor and win?
Maybe there's a rematch ahead.
Oh, I would love to play the Mormons again. Wouldn't you?
Go to Provo?
I don't want to go to Provo.
Well, SMU's got the one loss, so.
That's true. That's a good
anyway,
point.
we're allowed to get ahead of ourselves.
By the way, is that the best dorm at campus? Yeah. Armstrong Commons.
On the Pony Express is Dean Ralsky.
That's exactly right.
Resident there.
Oh, man. Avon, all the biggies are in Armstrong.
Yeah.
What you want to say. Anyway, okay. I could go on and on. That's the emotional part of the game. Let's talk about carrying that into Louisville.
Yeah.
So tell me about Louisville.
Yeah, Tyler Shug is their quarterback. He's really, really strong. They faced one of the best defenses in college football last week against Notre Dame and lost. They looked a little bit, normal offensively. They've been cooking a little bit.
Yep.
They really don't.
That's a Texas Tech transfer, isn't he?
Yes, one-time Texas Tech. Yeah, and he's been struggling to stay healthy his whole career, but when he's been healthy, he's been very good.
Okay.
Louisville doesn't really care, it seems like, to run the ball. Which will make this game interesting. SMU's been good on defense in part because they've shut down other teams' run game. It's not really a Louisville thing in a sense. So
Okay,
that'll be something to watch. Secondary
Okay.
will have to step up. But you want to know what travels on the road? Great defense and
You
running the
said-
football.
You
And
said it. I've never been to Louisville.
Yeah.
What is that, the Bourbon
I've
Trail?
been once. SMU was in the NCAA tournament, so we know
Did
how
you
that
remember? Because you probably drank bourbon all
went. I was,
weekend.
no, I was in and out. I was working.
Were
Literally
ya?
flew in at 6 a.m. for one of
Uh.
Larry Brown's teams. And
So what does a guy
Out that
do when
night.
they're in Louisville? I mean, should I go see Churchill Downs?
yeah, I don't know if it's very active right now, but
I mean, just seeing it,
just
going
to
by,
see it.
Just to see it.
Yep.
that'd probably be worthwhile.
Yep, squeeze in a little bourbon if you'd like.
Isn't Cassius Clay from Louisville?
Yes, I believe so.
That'd be
Yep.
Muhammad Ali for all you youngsters.
Yep.
The Bourbon Trail.
I've heard the stadium is
I'm
great.
a wine guy, so
Yeah.
why do I drink bourbon?
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. I guess I should, right? So anyway, it'll probably be on national television.
It's on
don't you think?
ESPN.
Oh, it is on ESPN.
Big ESPN.
Fantastic.
Noon Eastern game. 11 a.m. Central.
Central time.
Yep.
So one thing I learned about Florida State, and we're going to start seeing this with all the ACC teams, is they travel well on the road.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Florida State fans
Yep.
here.
A lot of people just really enjoying themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Well, given a choice about something, would you rather be in Tallahassee, no offense, or Dallas?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or would you rather be in Ames, Iowa, or Fort Worth than Dallas?
Okay, I've just since
made the connection.
Since you mentioned Fort Worth,
What?
Sonny, would you please take me back? Dykes I don't even want to remember him anymore. I've just forgotten about it. It is so it's so last season, you know. So Sonny, I'm going to give you a reprieve, maybe for the rest of the season, or not. I'm not sure about that.
They just need to keep winning so SMU's win looks better. Sneaking past Kansas.
They really beat Kansas. What a good team that is.
Yeah.
So hey, whatever. So
how you feeling about Louisville? And we'll close up shop.
okay, I am. I'm going to be a homer again because I don't think people appreciate how good we are.
I agree.
And especially
Everyone's talking about how bad Florida State is. I don't agree with that.
I agree with you on that. Florida State is not that bad, although they showed a little bit of quit in them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A little bit of quit.
Yep.
I'm going to predict right now that the next season's head coach at Florida State is going to be Coach Prime.
Okay.
You heard it here first. I mean, I'd really like Norvell. He's a good guy.
Yep.
But damn, I mean, they will not tolerate a 1-4 program. You know,
No.
I mean, who knows where they go from here?
Yeah.
I think there may be some quit in those guys.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going on in the locker room.
Yep.
So anyway, I say SMU by 3.
So the line opened at 11.5, I believe. Favored Louisville. It's now down to 6.5 for Louisville. So
well, we were
you
almost
factor in.
we were almost a 12-point dog.
Yep, to open.
Woo!
And all the money came pouring in on the Mustangs. So some people clearly
The smart money is on SMU. If you know, we're watching KJ grow up before our eyes.
Yeah, he's not going to care about going on the road.
I mean,
Did in the
I'll tell you
rain
what,
against Tulane. And,
I love being an underdog. I've been an underdog my entire life. When my wife and I started out, we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. And you know what? I liked it that we were underestimated.
Yep.
My whole life. I loved it. I mean, underestimate us at your what's right? Which one am I looking for? At your whatever.
own peril.
There we go. That's an SAT word for you. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
It's my old age kicking in right there. So I say 3. What do you say?
SMU's going to win. They've been winning pretty big the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
I think SMU by 8. Some weird score,
Okay.
but I just think I don't know, man.
Well,
KJ's a winner,
I know
and
he is.
he's been putting the pieces together. Career high in passing last week for him. Brashard Smith continues to look good. I think they get LJ Johnson back. Maybe Romello can play.
So those 2 guys coming in.
Yep. So maybe that
These
helps.
guys are disturbing our podcast. Did they have any idea?
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is going national. I mean, this is going this viral.
Dozens.
Dozens and dozens. By the way, when we were doing the Boulevard thing, I think we had 13 of our fans say hi.
Yeah. Oh, it was constant.
We weren't in the dozens, but we had a dozen.
Yeah.
A solid baker's dozen.
Yes.
On that deal, so which is really good. All right, baby. I am looking forward to seeing you in Louisville.
Cheers. Big game ahead. SMU-Louisville, 11 a.m. Central on Big ESPN. Check back next week for another edition of the Walking Strong podcast, and check out the Pony Express case, epicwines.com/pony. Use code PONY for free shipping. For Bill Armstrong, I'm Billy Embody. Another edition in the shadow of Doak. Wrapped up. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the On the Pony Express podcast with Billy Embody. Follow Follow us on your socials on X at SMU on 3 and on Instagram at on3SMU. And keep it locked to ontheponyexpress.com for more coverage.